Hello and welcome to Bonus Dad.
Bonus Daughter, a special father-daughter podcast with me, Hannah.
And me, Davey, where we discuss our differences, similarities,
Share a few laughs and stories
within our ever-changing and complex world.
Each week we will discuss a topic
From our own point of view.
and influences throughout the decades.
Or you could choose one by contacting us.
Via email, Instagram, Facebook or TikTok. Hello and welcome to part 2 of time travel. We hope that your brain has recovered from the last episode because we're about to talk about it some more, but more from the philosophical side.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty much you. I think this one with your ideas, with your philosophical brain.
My philosophical brain will come in. I hope.
I just realised I'm doing product placement.
White noise. Oh no.
Yeah.
It's such a cool cup.
It is a really cool cup. It's a cool festival as well.
I think it's one of my favourite beakers.
Is it?
Do you call it a beaker?
Yeah, plus I like how you've not trusted me with glass though.
Yeah, I just like the cup. And I knew you like white noise, I think that's why I chose it. It was either that or a beer festival mug.
I've just looked over on your shelf as well and I've realised I've still not brought that bottle of Kraken over for you.
Oh, yeah.
I've got.
Have you seen the other one?
No, what bottles have you got?
The one on the right is the ceramic Kraken bottle that you can't see because I've put a load of junk there.
Yeah.
On the left, I think you gave me that. It's a Lamb's Navy one, but it's like a limited edition one.
Oh right, okay.
It's just got a really nice print on it.
Yeah.
Like a dragon on it, which Lamb's Navy doesn't normally have. It normally has a lamb.
Oh, okay.
But that ceramic Kraken one was bought for me by Mitchell for my birthday, many years ago now.
Yeah.
I don't have the heart to throw it away. It's just such a nice bottle. I think they're display bottles.
For my birthday actually, I got given so I've got that caramel and sea salt one for you, bowl, which is quite a nice bowl.
Oh yes. I thought you meant a drink because that's not mine.
No. But I've also got a coffee one.
Yes, I saw.
So I've got a coffee one, so I'll give you I'll give you that bottle as well, and I've also got a full litre bottle of Kraken if you want that as well. When I finish that, it's still got Kraken in it, so you can't have it yet. No,
is it one of the normal ones?
It's one of the normal ones.
Oh no, I don't need that.
You don't need that. Well, no.
Can we just talk about we did bring it up on the first live update, and I know this one is talking about.
Oh, this is going to come out weeks after.
I know.
Yeah.
But I saw, because I know Charlotte listens to this podcast, and I saw her comment in your birthday card at work.
What comment was that?
She put happy 50th or something like that, and then it was like have a rum and come.
Yeah.
And that made me laugh, and I just want to say, Charlotte, that absolutely. I read that whilst I was at work, and I physically laughed out loud. Like I was like, oh, that's a nice message, and I just went, ha! Like really laughed to myself. And then I was in the gym at the time, and I was like, oh, I hope no one heard that.
So loads of my work colleagues wrote in my birthday card. It was brilliant, and they'd all put like nice messages like happy 50th and da. Andy put happy 60th, so me and him have fallen out.
Yeah.
But the best one was Callum.
What did he put?
He just put Callum or Davey, Callum. Kiss. That was it.
Didn't even put happy birthday.
He didn't know. But Callum is just like so dry. It's hilarious. Callum is amazing. I keep joking with him because obviously we do deal with quite high stressful situations. Mm-hmm. Callum never misses a beat. He is just the world could be falling around, like it could be the apocalypse, and Callum would just be, his hands would be, he would just be dead level and just straight and just deal with the issue, and that would be it. I love Callum so much.
Good colleague.
He is, but I laugh and joke with him and say that one day he's just going to lose his shit in Tesco's.
Club Card price is only 2p less.
Yeah, and he would just, he
would just implode.
He would just absolutely.
He would be a black hole.
He would be a black hole.
Speaking of black holes,
yes. Shall we start the episode? I thought we'd start off quite light because we've already had our minds blown a little bit in the last episode, and I know our listeners and viewers will probably be the same. Yeah. So this particular episode, it's a continuation of our previous episode on time travel.
Yeah, I really struggle with talking about this subject. I said it in the last episode as well, that I just struggle with the fact that learning about all of this makes me feel like I lack purpose in the world.
Yeah.
And I feel like, we are just a tiny speck in the grand scheme of
we
time.
don't matter.
We don't matter, and I think that really messes with my brain a little bit as well.
Those people with that main character energy.
Yeah. I feel, it just, we are so insignificant.
Yeah.
And I think that insignificance can sometimes come across as quite like mentally challenging for people. So I kind of wanted to say that just so that there are any people that do think that you're not alone.
At the same time though, when you look at it from that angle, you can look from another angle. If we are that insignificant, and through space, through time, through the universe, then let's just have fun.
Yeah, I mean, that is another way of looking at it.
Let's just enjoy our lives, because we are only here on this planet for a very, very short space of time. So just enjoy it while we're here. Stop chasing shadows. Just enjoy the ride.
Fair enough. Is that the lyrics?
It is a lyric.
I thought it might have been.
It was a lyric, yes. And it's actually on my WhatsApp message on my little, it's like WhatsApp about. Yeah. Little message on there. Yeah. What did yours used to say?
Hi diddly ho neighbours.
Was it?
And it still does.
Is it still
I have not changed that.
Excellent.
I've had that hi diddly ho neighbours for, it's got to be close to like 9 years.
Excellent.
Like, it's been on there a long time. Ever since maybe I ever got WhatsApp.
Yeah, mine still definitely says, so settings.
I think it just says at the pub. It has said that. But...
There you go. Stop chasing shadows, just enjoy the ride.
Fair enough.
It is a more Chiba lyric.
Oh.
From the song, from a very philosophical song, actually, called "Enjoy the Ride."
I see.
And that is the chorus to it.
Back to time travel.
So there you go. Yes. So back to time travel, and the philosophy of time travel. So, time travel isn't just a physics issue.
Up.
Yes, it is also a philosophical rabbit hole, I think is the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
If we ever could move freely through time, what would that mean for identity, morality, and choice?
Yeah, I think...
Go, Hannah.
Right, so my theory on time travel is not, I would say, the traditional time travel. I think when people think of time travel, they think, oh, we'll go back in time and change this thing, and then it would create a better future, right?
Okay.
I think a lot of people think that. I often hear if people want to go back in time, it's often to kill Hitler. That's not, that's not a cultural thing. I'm just saying it's one of those things that people may pick out of our very decorated past and think that's probably pretty bad up there. We'll stop that from happening. 9/11 is another one.
Yeah, let's go and shoot the evil Austrian.
Yeah, let's get rid of the evil or stop something bad from happening.
Send him to art school.
Yes, yeah, I think maybe that would be the case. Yeah, maybe killing is not like the way to go, but I'm just saying as an example.
Yeah.
If time travel worked in that way, I don't think that would be scientifically correct. And the reason I think that is because then our future would be a different future, and therefore not the future we've just lived. So what would happen from the time of, say, killing Hitler to up until present? Where did that block of time go? Where did that people's understandings and things like that go, right? So where's what happened to that segment of time?
Yes.
Did it just erase what of all the people, everything that those people did in that time, what happened? So I don't think if a lot in a lot of sci-fi and a lot of things like that, when people go back to the future, like, oh, don't contact yourself, don't change anything, don't kill anything, like, because it will change the time. I don't think that's how it works.
No.
I think that if time travel was a plausible theory and it actually did happen and could occur, the future, our present that we're experiencing now, has already been affected by a future person coming back in time to meddle with that.
Yes, and
does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. Because you remember when I said about the World War II and the Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Yeah. There is a theory that the theory goes that the assassination of the Black Hand was they assassinated the first time around, but then someone went back in time to make sure the assassination happened, because when they stopped the assassination thinking World War I wouldn't then start, it actually created a much worse future. Yeah. And so someone then went back and went, oh, actually,
we need to reverse our problem.
Yeah, exactly. Let's bump him off. I mean, one of the biggest examples of that you could argue as well is Terminator films. So you've got where
go back in time, wish they were never created.
Well, no, they won't. They sent a Terminator back in time to kill the young John Connor. It's the same thing as killing Hitler.
Yeah, but like that's fine. But then the future you're coming back to is not what you.
But there's also a paradox within that film because they send the Terminator back to kill John Connor, right? But what then happens is then they also send Michael Biehn's character to go and stop that from happening. So he comes back from the future as well, fights the Terminator, but he then has a little bit of sexy time with Sarah Connor, and he's actually John Connor's father.
Yes.
So the paradox.
Yeah.
The paradox there.
And that kind of the kind of thing if your parents weren't here, you couldn't be here, that sort of thing. So if they were killed off, then that happens, or that has to happen before.
Yes.
Something goes on. And it's kind of like, actually, that film that you wanted to see, that we can't remember the name of, and we probably should have looked up in the break. They actually they touch on this about the parents not being together to create the children.
Well, that's what Back to the Future is.
Yeah,
Back to the Future is exactly that.
Exactly. Yeah. But I just don't think if time travel was a thing, it wouldn't work that way. I think another problem that I have with time travel is that should we do it? I think that comes on to the
ethics. We do talk about the ethics of it a little bit later on.
Okay.
We've probably again. You've not read the script, have you?
I have not, and I have all of these ideas,
Yes.
and no order of which to put these ideas in.
Yeah.
I'll stop there then and let you continue to segue me in.
I love you so much.
I'm sorry.
I'm
very excited.
Because first of all, you've heard of the grandfather paradox.
Well, explain it to everyone.
It's kind of what you were just discussing. It's what would happen if you went back in time and you prevented your grandfather from meeting your grandfather from meeting your grandmother.
Yeah.
So that would mean that you were never born, which means that you couldn't go back in time. So your grandfather would live. So you are born, and so on.
Yeah, I think that in the most simplest of terms is why I think sci-fi time travel doesn't work. It couldn't work in the real world. RIL.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It couldn't work in the real life.
Yeah. But I mean, we've already said in the previous episode about the multiverse theory.
Yeah. So that is a probable solution, and that explains when I said that segment of time is missing from killing Hitler to now. To the new timeline, that segment of time is gone. Well, it's not because of this multiverse theory.
Yeah.
Which I think, again, way more plausible than going back in time and the paradox being an issue.
So there is another theory that the universe itself, you're almost describing the universe as a sentient being, in that it actually actively stops paradoxes from happening.
Yeah. That would be a very intelligent being, and I think this is where kind of that religion kind of comes into it, because that's what, a lot of religions are based on, is some intelligent being being able to guide the universe. Mm-hmm. Science is kind of saying the same thing if it's saying about multiverse in a sense of, the universe is protecting itself, and it's like the universe, that theory sounds familiar. A sentient being or God.
Boff. There you go.
Boom.
There you go. So it could be.
I've just solved religion.
You just solved religion. You nailed it.
No. I think we're all striving. We as humans, we try to come up with something to explain something we don't know.
Yes, that's it. We try to make logic out of it, and sometimes it's illogical, and that's where our brains get warped. Yeah, because
exactly.
We have to. Yeah, it has to be logical.
Because even the TVL in Loki.
Yes.
There was a problem with that, because the sentient beings weren't the all-knowing people as well. That was all the facade, and it goes back to Plato's cave analogy theory of you're looking at a scene. Have we spoken about Plato's cave analogy?
No, go for it.
Is this the time?
Yes,
go for it.
Go for it.
Plato's cave analogy, how I understand it could be interpreted in many, many ways, but how I understand it is, can you imagine someone in a cave with a plinth that they are sort of chained up to, and there's a scene happening above them, but all they can see is the shadows of that scene.
Yes.
So they're seeing people being slaughtered, cut, I don't know, having a war up there. You as the prisoner can only see that war happening. What you don't know is they're actually puppets.
Yes.
So that never happened. But your reality and what you believe you've just seen, because you've seen it with your own eyes, albeit in shadow form, you believe people have just been slaughtered and killed, right? But actually it's a puppet master and just making you believe that.
Yeah.
So I think when it comes to like the multiverse theory and things like this in the TVLA, what is it TVLA? Is it TVLA?
Time something bureau, isn't it?
Yeah. TVA? I don't know. The idea of there being some sort of sentient being or something like that is not something that's not been theorized even by philosophers. And science is trying to explain that as well. Science is trying to be like, oh, the universe is protecting itself, but the universe knows to protect itself. It's like it's kind of that very weird kind of the puppet master essentially in that cave is what we're describing here. Is there someone manipulating what we're seeing?
That's it. Because what is true?
Are we seeing global propaganda?
Of course we are. Of course we are.
We're only seeing what we want to see and what we want to hear.
That's exactly it. Because I've said this before. In that truth is what is actually true. It's our own truth. And I've mentioned it about the 6 and the 9, and what you see it from the angle that you see, and you see it's the same number, but you're coming at it from different angles. Yeah. So that is your truth. Happens all the time, and I do at work. It's like you only have you only have a small piece of the information, small bit, and that's what you see, and the rest you fill in yourself. And yeah, it's mind blowing.
It is, and I don't know. It astounds me that.
It's perception versus perspective. Yeah. Essentially.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And people are sometimes so quick to believe something when there is more at play.
100%.
And I think that's exactly where science comes in to fill that gap. Is that we all believe this is how gravity works, this is how this works, quantum mechanics, physics, this is how this all works. But actually, this is just how we believe it to be working.
How we perceive it.
how we perceive it to be working. Belief and idea come back into it.
Indeed. Do you want another paradox?
Oh, yes.
The Bootstrap Paradox.
Ooh, what's this one?
So, in this one, if you travel back in time with a copy of Shakespeare's plays, okay, give them to a young Shakespeare, and he published them as his own, centuries later, you read those plays, travel back in time, and give them back to him. Who actually wrote the plays?
Ooh.
Okay, this is a paradox. It's something that exists without a true origin. It seems impossible, but it does actually create a contradiction. So from a philosophical point of view, so there would have to have been an origin of those plays being written, but what would that origin have been if there's that constant time loop of someone going back and giving Shakespeare those copy of his own plays that he then publishes?
Shit, I don't know. I do not have a philosophical comeback for that. This is a tumbleweed moment. Does it end? Okay, it doesn't.
Yeah, sorry.
What's going on forever? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, mate. I can't explain that one.
Yeah. Yeah, think about that one. How there would have to theoretically there would have to have been an initial point of when he wrote those plays, the initial time, in my mind.
Unless every point of time travel is a new multiverse.
Yeah, the multiverse theory does
support that.
Support that. Yeah.
Because every time they go back and give, so actually, who wrote Shakespeare's plays was Shakespeare from another universe.
Yes.
Which is just...
It's causality. It's causality, essentially, isn't it?
Chicken and the egg,
yeah. Chicken and the egg, yeah.
Wow.
Ooh, mind blown?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what about determinism? We've already mentioned this. We brought up as well. Free will.
I think it would be a very main character of us to egotistical, if you want to go with a better word.
Yes.
To think that every single decision that we make sparks off multiple universes, like you said before about choosing to come to Norwich, me choosing to go study from home as opposed to Nottingham, right?
Yeah.
I think it would be very strange of us to think that the universe revolves around us in that way.
It's very egotistical to think that.
And maybe the points of fracture, like we have free will within this time realm, this universe, whatever that we're doing.
Yeah.
But there are maybe significant points, which again comes up in Loki, that I'm thinking of because I quite like this idea. There are significant points in time that those branches happen.
Yes.
So it's actually more of a global phenomenon for everyone.
Yeah.
Branches branch off at that point.
Like the Franz Ferdinand.
Like the Franz Ferdinand. That would be, I would assume,
that would be,
event.
that's a significant global event. Yeah.
But I think it would be very, egotistical to think that it happens with every single decision we make.
Well, where would it stop? I mean, like when we talk about the butterfly effect.
If I'd had McDonald's breakfast this morning or my croissant, which I actually had.
Yeah.
Has that really played much bearing on the rest of my life? Probably not.
It could have been, because if I'd have brought you a McDonald's, okay, here's the thought. So I brought you a McDonald's in today. Well, I didn't, because you said you didn't want one. You decided on a croissant instead. Now, say for instance, as I brought in because today I came in just with a couple of bags all in one go, and I wasn't holding a McDonald's bag. If I had been holding a McDonald's bag, I could have not been able to do your door properly. Went to open the door didn't open, I carried on walking, I smashed my face, we ended up in hospital today.
Yeah.
Because I then went to hospital, I then met somebody who I'd never met before, started talking to them, we had a conversation that might have affected, I don't know, me making another decision about something else to say, I don't know, say to do with work. Yeah. Which then created another choice, which then goes off onto, not global, but in my life, say, okay, so there's work, but then I make a choice to say, I don't know, leave that job and go and work with this person.
Yeah.
In which case, my career has just suddenly changed because of a McDonald's bag.
Yeah.
That's essentially the butterfly effect.
It's kind of
That's
one thing, that one catalyst event changes the rest of your life.
Exactly.
While I think that is, I guess, plausible, there's a part of me that's like, again, it puts way too much bearing on the individual, I think.
Yeah.
And I just, there's lots of events that led up to the Archduke Ferdinand's assassination, I'm sure.
Oh, there would be many different events.
So there'll be lots of things where someone literally, like yourself with a McDonald's bag, that could have set off something else in the globe, which had nothing to do with you in the outcome wise. I think there has to be an element of free will in the universe, because otherwise we wouldn't have the good, the bad. We wouldn't have, the choice to do what we want, to create what we want, to theorize what we want if we didn't have free will.
Yeah.
I think there's a part of our lives that are determined, that are perhaps predetermined, but I think that's, again, probably some sort of old religious thing that I've got in my head somewhere at the back of my mind. I do think there is perhaps a lot that's determined at birth, for example, sexuality being one of them, things like that aren't nurture. They are nature and therefore predetermined. I think it's very likely that my illness that I have was perhaps predetermined at birth. I knew, there's something in my body that...
Or being genetics.
It could be. I'm not saying it is, because I don't want to blame anyone. But it could be. But I think stuff like that somewhat is predetermined at the start. But it's what you do with those predetermined things which gives you free will. Yeah, exactly. That's very, very philosophical.
Yeah, that is very, very philosophical. Very philosophical. I mean, yeah. Because also, oh God, my mind's just, think about going, let's move on.
Should we go to preventism?
Yeah, presentism versus eternalism. So they're getting metaphysical now. So only the present. This is only the present is real.
Only the present is real.
Yeah.
And I understand this. I understand this concept because again, if we think of the world as everything is all happening at once.
Yes, and that's one of the theories about time.
Yeah. Therefore, your present is only real, right? Because you're always living your present.
Theoretically, yes.
And you are always living in the present because you are in the present.
Yes.
That's what we call it anyway. That's how we linguistically call it.
Yeah, tomorrow never comes.
Tomorrow never comes, right? Because when tomorrow is here, it's today.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we do have a yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So I think sometimes when it's hard for us, the way we perceive time as linear, to understand the idea of there being a past, because there are things that have happened before us that we know of, and there are things but we don't know the things that are going to happen after us. That's
very true. Yes.
So I think that's where the concept of presentism is difficult to comprehend, because we perceive time in a linear aspect.
Yes.
Because that's how it works for our bodies and physiologically works.
Yes.
We have a beginning and we're working towards an end.
Yeah.
No matter how short, this is very philosophical, no matter how short that life may be, it is effectively we have a past but not a future.
Yeah.
The future is never here, sort of thing. Doesn't mean you can't do things to better your future, of course, but I don't think it necessarily means that we are there. In terms of eternalism, though, unless you've got anything to add there.
No, I was literally just I was looking at the reason I've got my phone in my hand is that I know in one particular film, but I can't remember what film it is, and it's not telling me. There was a film where someone says life is a series of moments. That's all it is. Life is a series of moments, each one lost when the next one comes in.
And of course...
And I can't remember what film it's from.
Life is also like a box of chocolates.
You never know what you're going to get. Yes.
In terms of eternalism, now, like I said about moving through space and time, when we were talking about Interstellar, and when he went on that planet, every tick was a day going by, or a year going by, whatever it was, on Earth. So they proposed that she froze herself, so that she could be eventually awake for when he comes back. And when he comes back, he has not aged. I think he's maybe aged, say, a year compared to the 100 plus years that may have passed on Earth. So effectively, to me, that is kind of a little bit of a nod to immortality there.
Yeah.
But he experienced time in the exact same way. So he is not immortal, but he is perceived as immortal to everyone else.
Correct.
So I don't think there is room in there for immortality.
No.
Immortality to me should be sci-fi.
Yes.
The only way that we could remain immortal is that we're frozen over time, but then I wouldn't really class that as life.
You're not life. You are just preserved.
If anything, you're just preventing
the
inevitable.
Exactly.
Not avoiding. Not you will eventually die.
There's a few films that do tackle that subject as well. I think Futurama. Yeah. I mean, even the film Get Out.
Yeah.
With Daniel.
Dooflip.
Yeah, I can never pronounce his last name.
Oh. I won't be able to help you.
Kaluuya, Daniel Kaluuya, I think I pronounce it. Sorry, Daniel. Not
because he listens to the
not
podcast.
That he listens. But the idea of the soul and the personality being taken out of one body and placed into another younger body.
Yeah, that is the only way I think immortality could work theoretically.
Yeah.
But then again, that's reincarnation, I guess, in some ways.
You could argue that, yeah.
Which is another religious kind of theory.
Yeah.
You know, you can kind of see where religion and science come a little bit together in this. They're proposing the same. They're proposing the same things. It's just one is believing in a higher being and the other is trying not to believe in a higher being. I think that's...
One's still searching for answers, and the other
being.
determines that the answers have already been found, and it's all trust in this one. Yeah, I don't know. Because actually, sort of similar to religion, actually, when you look at Eastern and Western concepts of time, they are different. The way that we, even our own different cultures, perceive time.
Yeah.
I mean, in the West, we see time as being very linear. Straight arrow, past the future, like that.
Yeah.
That's it.
And when we die, generally, is what is believed.
Exactly. But in a lot of Eastern traditions, time is actually cyclical.
Yeah.
Hinduism,
Yeah.
Taoism, the concept of samsara in Buddhism.
Yeah.
You know, actually I think it's Hinduism as well. Circle of birth, death, and rebirth, and that time has cosmic cycles that repeat indefinitely.
I think time as well, for some people just perceive time differently, and you could take mushrooms and perceive time differently. Some people lose time. Some people make time. You know, there's more time in the day than there actually is.
Okay, so yes, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
2 days ago, I drove home from work. I did a ridiculously long day. That was there was exacerbated by the fact that Norwich Council, and I will never forgive you for this, have decided to close nearly every single road off near where I live.
Yeah.
An 8 hour...
That is actually really true.
Yeah. Bastards. Right? An 8 minute car journey from where I work to go home took me 45 minutes after I'd done a 16-hour day. I'm looking at you, Norwich Council. I was not happy. That meant when I actually pulled up into my driveway,
Yeah.
right, I'm savage over it. I'm
I
absolutely
can
savage.
I can tell.
I'm absolutely raging over this. But when I pulled up outside my house, I had no idea of the route that I took. I could not remember the route of me I pulled up and the thing I was like, which way did I actually just drive?
I have moments like that.
I couldn't remember it.
I have moments like that as well, where I'm. Did I even look when I pulled out on that roundabout?
Yeah.
You do it so instinctively.
Instinctively.
Like, driving is one of them things that I find is very instinctual now.
Yeah.
And did I look on that roundabout? Was that traffic light green? Sometimes I'm like that, like, you
Yeah.
know, completely like lose my mind, you know, and I'm like, you know, how did I get from there to there? Did I follow a sat nav? Did I get there on instinct? Like, it's just mad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that there's room for both, and I know there's some evidence out there. Well, some people claim, I guess, might be a better way of describing it, that they have memories of past lives.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's that boy, wasn't there?
Barra.
Yeah, that's it.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Where he felt like he had grown up or come from Barra
That's
Island.
Right. Yeah.
Where he'd never visited, apparently he'd never been exposed to such the place. I'd never even heard of it before I'd ever researched into this. Not for this podcast, for philosophy way back when. Because I never researched anything for this podcast. Literally nothing. So yeah, I don't know, there's just I don't know.
You don't know. I think that's the beautiful thing though, is that you don't know and you're open to it.
Yeah, I am open to it.
That's the beautiful thing.
I am open to all the theories, because you know, there's some things in my life that I'm like, why the hell did that happen to me? And I'm thinking about that because I must have done something wrong for that to happen. And I think that's a very religious concept, is that you do something wrong and therefore, and karma is another thing, which is in a lot of religions, do something wrong, something bad's going to happen later in life, right?
Yeah.
Do something good's going to happen in later life. I feel like I do a lot of good things, but not a lot of good things happen to me, you know? It's kind of
karma.
It is that karma, and I think I always, if something bad happens to me, I'm like, why did that happen? Like, why do I deserve this?
Exactly. I'm the same.
It's egotistical though as well. It's very self-centered, very main character energy, is that you have done something and that's why this bad thing is happening, not the effect of anyone else or anyone else, because it's very rare that something bad happens to you and it doesn't affect anyone else around you.
Yeah.
That's really rare. So it's like, maybe they did something and now they're having to, you know, and it's, where does the buck stop? You know, who do you keep blaming for these bad things?
That's exactly it. That is exactly it.
You know? I think you just got to live life as positively as I guess you can, and you've just got to roll with the punches. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. It's simple as that, really.
So
Cure to all your mental health problems. Lemonade.
Lemonade. So shall we kind of just finish off on the ethics of time travel?
I've completely kibosh this.
No, not at all, not at all. So this is, we've already mentioned a couple of things here. You know, would it be, like you've already mentioned, you know, should we go back and kill Hitler?
Yeah.
Should we?
Yeah. Should we save a loved one?
Yeah.
Invest in Bitcoin?
No, this one is a little. So this is the difference. So
lottery number things always get me as well.
Going back and killing Hitler, you're doing it for global,
Woohoo.
for other people, right? Saving a loved one, you're doing it for someone else.
You and your family.
You and your family.
And the person that's dead.
Now investing in Bitcoin in 2010.
Self-centered.
Oh, going back and getting the lottery, or going and getting the lottery numbers.
Yeah, lottery numbers.
Look what happened in Back to the Future with Biff, who is Trump, by the way. I'm absolutely convinced that the writers of Back to the Future saw that.
They're like, that is.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Trump did. Went back and bought the Sports Almanac. But ethically
speaking, if we had the opportunity to do that, it would have to be put forward to a council and we'd all vote on it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if something like that changes and it affects the rest of the life going on, and we had no theories about what would happen to the current life we're living, etc., would everything in our history books change but it would remain the same? You know, would we just completely be living completely different lives? It would be, because we don't know the outcome, I think that would be impossible to make that decision, one person making that decision to be able to go back and do that.
Yeah.
I think it's very main character energy of that person to go back and change something that could affect, well, it would affect billions of lives.
Well, you could even argue that if one person had the ability to time travel and could do that, then they could also, you know, that's too much power for one person, that they could go back and they could become a god to somebody, which we've seen in many different programs. The Orville, in fact, Seth MacFarlane touches on that in the Orville. Army of Darkness, I know I've gone like, you know, Ash in the Evil Dead. He goes back in time and this is my boomstick. Yeah. You know,
I think
it's, you know, that as well.
Ethically it shouldn't be done, because as much as horrible those things are, it's probably made us better people and shaped the world just that little bit more, that we will try and prevent anything from ever happening like that again, you know? Yeah,
because you could argue as well is that changing history could erase other people's lives. So where do you draw the line?
What if by killing Hitler we erased somehow the lineage of a person who could have been the cure for cancer?
Exactly.
You know, who could have come up with quantum theory, if you want to go that's something that's not as deep or as not as, you know.
Or there's it caused the effect of another atrocity.
Yeah. Perhaps Hitler's like reign and everything he did was the lesser outcome of a bigger issue that someone's already gone back in time and erased.
Yeah, you just don't know.
Yeah,
there's all theoretical questions.
It's all theory, and should we mess with time?
Yeah,
my thinking's no.
There is one other final. You know, we started these 2 episodes off, and you said you wanted to talk about films and things. So let's finish off on one film that's just literally popped into my head and see if this would be ethical as well. Have you ever seen The Tomorrow War?
No.
With Chris Pratt.
No, I don't
Okay, so in The Tomorrow War, it starts off at the beginning. It's an excellent film.
Okay.
Right, it's on Prime. In The Tomorrow War, at the beginning of the film, there's a football game. You're all watching football. Suddenly, this wormhole opens. All these soldiers come rushing out of this wormhole, and they basically say, "Look, we are in a war in the future. We are dying. We need people from now to bolster our army to go into the future to help us fight."
Wow, okay.
And they ask for volunteers. Now, these volunteers then go through a selection screening process to see if they are able to time travel, right? But what you really find out is it isn't a selection screening process to see if they can manage the time travel. It's to see, because they're already from the future. And so say, for instance, we went, okay, we're standing in the army recruiting office. They're about to give us a gun to go and fight these aliens in the future. They look at you and they bring up your file. And it says, Hannah, lives until she's 99 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They look at my file and they go, oh, Davey, he's 50. He dies when he's 51. You go. That's how they select them. People with terminally ill diseases, people who don't, also people who don't have children, or if for instance they might live for 10 years, but they're on their own, they don't have children, they don't get married, they don't have families. So essentially what they're doing is they're doing a screening process to protect other timelines.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's only ethical if the person was aware of that fact.
Yeah.
If the person being recruited.
They didn't know.
Yeah, that's not
They
ethical
didn't
to
know.
me.
They didn't know, because in the film he goes into the future and he ends up, sorry, I'm really spoiling this film.
No, I feel like they would need to be, in order for that to be ethical, they would need to be transparent. When they come through that wormhole initially, they're like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to grab you because you make no significance, hard to hear, I imagine, but there's no significant bearing on your life in the next thing. You know, you can come with us and do this one last thing to think. If that were me and I only had 1 year to live, of course I would, I'd go. Because if there's nothing left for me here, there's nothing that I left to do in my life. Maybe this is a bit like going down the suicidal thought route. That's not where I'm coming from.
I know what you're saying.
I feel like if I was told that, I'd be like, yeah, sure. So I feel like their lack of transparency there has made that unethical.
Yeah.
When had they been straight and honest in the first place, maybe people would have actually volunteered. But
there is something. There's something that I left out of that as well, which does challenge that argument. Okay. They only go over there for a certain amount of days and they come back. So what would then happen if they did find that? It's like, Davey, he dies in a car accident on this day at this time. I'll be like, well do you know what?
Avoiding cars on that day.
I'm staying in bed that day.
Yeah.
You know, it's that, because then you'd have the knowledge of how you would die and the facility and the ability to stop it from happening. Not necessarily with a terminal disease, but accidental death. You would go, okay, so Davey dies on the 7th of November through falling through a plate glass window. Well, guess what? I'm staying on the ground floor that day. Yeah, maybe that would even affect the future further, because you've lived when you shouldn't have lived. There you go. And then that has a knock-on effect, and the butterfly effect comes back into it again. Place. I still think it's unethical. Yeah, completely. Yeah. Which was the original question? I've drifted off on tangents by then. Drifted. But it's an excellent film, and that does throw up those philosophical and ethical questions. And should also we go back? I don't think we should. Yeah, and also about family dynamics as well. There's a very interesting family, which I won't spoil, but is incredibly interesting. It's a film on Prime. I don't think it really got a massive release. It kind of slipped under the radar a little bit, but it's excellent. And when you think the film ends, there's more. Oh. It's a very, very, very good film. From a philosophical, theoretical and ethical time travel-y perspective. Might have to give that one a go. That's a very good film. So there you go. Lovely. There we are. Well, I think on that note, we'll end the two-parter there. So thank you so much for joining us for this two-part episode on time travel. If you like this episode, please check out our other ones, because there are plenty in the bank. And anything left to say is cue the outro. Do you know what would be really funny? What's that? To release part 2 before part 1. Damn, I wish I thought that joke on air. Yeah. Thanks for joining us on Bonus Dad, Bonus Daughter. Don't forget to follow us on all our socials and share the podcast with someone who'd love it. We are available on all streaming platforms. See you next time. Bye-bye.